Hey Dan K Show fans, Dan K and Lucas Jones back and better than ever yet again on the road. It's Dan K on the road, this time in Marlborough, Massachusetts, after a trip to New Hampshire last weekend, Chicago the week before, and North Andover the week before that. Now we're in Marlborough, Massachusetts at the beautiful New England Sports Center. Plenty of ice, plenty of hockey going on. It's time to start the show with my favorite segment, Dan K's Three Things. Thing number one, lots of hockey going on, lots of sheets of ice, and lots of NCDC action. Fall Beantown, back and better than ever, like I said before. Thing number two, Connecticut Junior Rangers. We have an interview with those CJR Rangers, some of the best. We got El Capitan from the Rangers. It's going to be on the mic, and maybe even Wes Welker, or at least a Wes Welker lookalike, will be talking with us about the hot start of the Connecticut Junior Rangers, a team that I have picked to make a deep, deep run into the postseason in the NCDC. Thing number three, the final thing, I don't have a third thing. What should be the third thing be, Lucas?
This is usually your part of the show, so I got nothing.
He's got nothing, but I've got plenty of hockey to talk. He's got plenty of hockey to talk, and we are ready to go. Dan K on the road. Let's get it. Hey Dan K fans, we're back out in front of the New England Sports Center now. Lucas Jones, Dan K, very large sun glare going on. We had some people beeping at us yelling, "Hey Dan K!" And you know what, Lucas? This has been a fun event so far, but you're at the Fall Beantown. It's the home of the Boston Junior Bruins organization. We got to talk some Boston Junior Bruins hockey. Let's talk NCDC.
We definitely do. You know, we were reading about the NCDC and USA Junior Hockey magazine that they had scattered around the rink here, but you really have to see these guys play in person. And if you want to talk Boston Junior Bruins, what a season they've had so far. Lots of good play coming out of that team, Dan. You know, we saw a little bit before. And I got to say, my favorite aspect of the Bruins so far has got to be their defense. You know,
Harrison Markle has been on the Markle all season.
Absolutely, Dan. We've been watching them, the way they've been playing. Harrison Markle has been leading such a great defensive effort. We were talking about their defense a little bit before, and I kind of likened them to just a team of almost free-floating radicals. They are blocking passing lanes. They are hitting guys. They're bouncing guys off of lines of sight. I mean, it is something else to watch this defense go to work.
Whirling Dervishes, and you want to talk Whirling Dervishes, let's talk Gus Van Ness, El Capitan for this squad, number 77, and also alongside him, Dallas Farrell. These two kind of mix it up. They get on different lines. They make things happen. Dallas Farrell's a guy who, not just one of the greatest first names in hockey, but this is a young man who's playing Texas large and coming up Texas large for his team, one of the top scorers and one of the most potent scoring threats throughout the NCDC. He's fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's a team that has the benefit of such great players, such great organization, and great coaching as well. Yeah. You know, when you have a team that's talented, it needs a coach to bring it all together, and the Boston Junior Bruins certainly seem to have every one of those checks in place. And like I said before, if you're not watching the Junior Bruins and the NCDC at large at these events in person, you are really missing out on some great hockey and a great atmosphere.
You want to talk about great atmosphere? The Boston Junior Bruins, they put on a great atmosphere every time they host a game, a home game or a showcase, or any time they're on display. They're always putting out some great quality product. And you watch this Boston Junior Bruins team. This is a team that likes to play it differently throughout the course of the game. You know, they'll come out, they'll have their quick shifts, they'll get their pace, they'll get their momentum shifts going, they'll put some goals up. Then there's other times where they'll go out there defensively and they'll slow a game down and kind of wait for that moment to pounce. We watched it today. They were playing the Pal Junior Islanders. They had a couple breakaway chances they created. They're a fun team to watch in both ways. If you like both sides of the ice, if you like to see a little defensive play, you like to see some offense, and you like to see a team that can mix it up either way and can play either style, this team up there with the South Shore Kings, they're two of the teams that can do it.
No, absolutely. And I think, again, it goes back to the organization and the coaching that we talked about. You know, when you have great coaching and you have a great organization, you are seemingly prepared for everything. You have the ability to mix it up and give teams different looks. And that's all down to the preparation, which, if you're a fan of the show, you know that all we seem to talk about is the preparation these teams go through. But we can't overstate enough how much these teams prepare week in and week out through the off season, during the season. I mean, it really is remarkable to see what these teams can put together and get out on the ice.
It's a fun team to watch. The Boston Junior Bruins, a team right now, they're not off to the start they want to be on, right? And that's the funny thing with the Boston Junior Bruins. They're so used to being in the top 1, 2, 3 in the league right now. They're not in that top 3 spot. They're still up there. They're still in the top 5. Talk about a team like this. What's considered success for the Boston Junior Bruins?
Well, I think for a team like this, they're in a position to thrive. I don't necessarily like to make predictions on the show, but I will say that a team that's built like the Boston Junior Bruins are, I think, is destined to be moving up in those standings. I think they thrive a little bit when they're challenged. We've talked to other teams and other coaches, and they've said, we prefer to be challenged. We prefer it because it helps us grow, it helps us build, it helps us continue to improve. I think that is exactly what the Boston Junior Bruins need right now. They need to be challenged. They need to be shown, here's where we're doing well. Here's what we're not doing so well. Let's work on everything, make ourselves the best team we possibly can be, and I would not be surprised if they start climbing in the ranks very soon.
See what they can do. The Boston Junior Bruins, they look good, look like a strong team. They've got the right guys who've returned. They got the right new pieces in place. It's going to be a fun team to watch. We're going to go inside and watch some more hockey and maybe talk with the Connecticut Junior Rangers.
I think so, Dan.
Let's go talk. Hey folks, Dan K from the Dan K Show here at the Fall Beantown with the third place Connecticut Junior Rangers, a team at the beginning of the year I put on my must-see list in the USPHL framework. This is a team I pick every year to go the distance. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves to the folks at home.
I'm Takato Cox.
Mike Gerska.
Devin Shell.
Patrick Kissel.
Got Wes Welker, I think he said, back here. Wes Welker behind me, sir. When you're not playing for the Patriots, what's it like getting on the ice and playing a little bit of hockey?
It's a lot of fun. It's where I'm supposed to be, I think. It's my calling. So whenever you get on the ice, it's a plus.
I'm just joking. This is a stellar athlete behind me. We're going to talk to El Capitan here first. We're going to start him off with the first question. You guys are in third place right now. What do you attribute the early season success to for the Connecticut Junior Rangers?
I think we brought a good team into camp. We've a lot of hard work, a lot of competition, and we've got really good coaching right now. So just overall, we've got a good team, and we're off to a good start, and we just got to keep that going.
Trying to keep it going here. Inaugural season of the NCDC. You have a weekend like this, a showcase weekend, multiple teams, multiple days, a lot of hockey. How do you make it work? How do you put wins up on the board?
We do a lot of film during the week, so we focus on each team, watch film from past games against the opposing teams. We watch them play other teams, so we prepare a lot during that. Practice, each day we center each day towards a specific idea, a specific concept towards each team, and then we just take that into the weekend. Coach is great. He goes through a bunch of notes with us before every game, and that's kind of the biggest thing, keeping everyone on the same page.
You can tell right now, this is a team, it's an intelligent team, it's a team that's going to play the right way, puck's going to get to the right place, they're going to put the pucks in the back of the net, talking about scoring goals, talking about winning games. What's the goal for the team this year?
Obviously every team I think has one goal in mind, is win the championship. That's our goal from the start. I think we have a good group of guys. I think we have a chance.
I think you have a chance. I think they have a chance as well. Every year, gentlemen, I pick you guys. I'm hoping you guys prove me right. Final question right here. Who are you guys playing this weekend? Who do you guys got next?
We got the Hitmen today. It should be a good one. We had a tough one against them last time down in their place, so hopefully neutral location, we can take it to them today.
Neutral location, Hitmen Junior Rangers. What's the prediction?
I think we're going to take it 4-1. It's my prediction. Good group of guys over there, but I think we definitely got them. We put our hard work forward, put a good step forward, and couple Genos today gets us the win. Let's do it.
4-1 is his prediction. 4-1 is going to be my prediction. I think this is going to be a battle royale. This is a possible championship preview today at the Fall Beantown. Keep watching the Dan K Show. Connecticut Junior Rangers coming at you today. Dan K here in beautiful Chi-Town with two gentlemen from the Charlotte Rush, a winning franchise, a franchise who may or may not have lifted a cup last year, some hardware. They were cup hunting last season. Now, gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
I'm Julian Miranda. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I play on the Charlotte Rush Elite team.
I'm Gustav Bowman. I'm from Sweden, and I play on Charlotte Rush Premier team.
Charlotte Rush Premier, let's start here first. Gustav, you guys raised a cup last year. Talk about playing for a winning organization. Does it put a little more pressure on you as a player?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you got to be on top every day, and you just got to work every day. And it was great winning the cup, but you kind of forget how hard it was when you win the cup. But you got to restart for this season and go 100% again.
Let's talk elite level here. You know, you're growing up through the organization. You're getting advanced through. What kind of things are you guys doing on a day in, day out basis to become better hockey players, better people down here in Charlotte?
Before practice, we put in extra work, get in the ladders, ride the bike, get the heart pumping. When we go into practice, ready to go.
Ready to go. Now, talk about this season. Elite level first. What's the goal for the elite team with the Charlotte Rush? What's the end game for you gentlemen out there on the ice?
Hopefully to hoist the cup above our heads and win the championship.
Win a championship. Now, Gustav, I'm going to ask you the same question. Goal for the Premier team. Why do I feel like it's going to be similar?
We're going back to back.
They're going back to back. Remember, you can't say three-peat, so you guys aren't allowed to win it 3 times in a row because Pat Riley owns the rights to three-peat. He will ask you for money if you say three-peat on camera. I've said three-peat 4 times. Come get me, Pat Riley. Let's go to this, though. Talk about the Crothers family, right? You got your coach, Ryan Crothers, here leading the way for the Charlotte Rush. Talk about the Crothers and just what they're doing for the organization, for the area you guys are playing in, and for some of the charitable work you guys do.
He lets us, he shows us the way. He guides us through the hockey world. He shows us what we have to do to become better people and better hockey players. And that involves, doing charities. Every February we shave our heads for cancer. He does a lot of things that are very, very positive.
I mean, he does everything for us. I mean, our locker room and just an everyday thing. He shows up first of everyone, and he's just take care of us, us guys. It's.
Look at, I gotta give it a mention. The St. Baldrick's charitable work you guys do every year. You guys got to keep an eye out for it. You got to donate when you get the chance. It's an incredible thing all of these young men do, and it's a team effort. It's a big time. You guys are doing a lot. You're doing a lot out there. It's incredible, both on and off the ice. The Charlotte Rush winning. Win, 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 no matter what. That's what you guys do, right? And then let's talk, last question here. Dan K Show, Charlotte Rush. Why should the Dan K Show come out and see the Charlotte Rush in person in Charlotte?
Probably because we'll win, and it'll be a good show for you guys.
Probably because they'll win, and it'll be a good show for us. Gentlemen, Salt Lake City, Utah, Sweden, we've got people from all over the place. We've got winners on the Charlotte Rush. Dan K Show. I guess we got to go to Charlotte now. We got to travel everywhere, Lucas. Get the mileage ready. Get it ready. We're using up those miles. Let's go. Nice interview, guys.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you, man. Yes, that you would magically know. And then it'll close. Hey, Dan K Show fans, another weekend and another long voyage home for us, but another great weekend of hockey. And it's worth it, the drive home, when you get to see hockey like we've seen at the Fall Beantown.
Oh, absolutely. I love coming to this event every year, Dan, because you get to see such a great quality of hockey. We took in some NCDC action, some 16U action, some 18U action. We got to meet a lot of parents, players, and coaches.
A lot of great times, a lot of great matchups. We interviewed the Connecticut Junior Rangers on the show. I predicted the Junior Rangers would beat the Hitmen. Hitmen come up with an OT win. That was the game of the weekend for me. Really fun watch between the Hitmen and the Rangers. But every game here has been a fun watch this weekend. As you see the packed house, another packed event for the USPHL Fall Beantown at it again. Lucas, we go to the empty net. And I think you have a team to reference for the empty net. They're going to get the empty net all to themselves.
Yes. So the 16U Hitmen.
16U Futures.
Futures Hitmen. My apologies, guys. There was an interview that we did with them, and they asked Dan. They said, hey, Dan, what's the deal with not putting our interview on the Dan K Show? And Dan, of course, blamed me. Correctly, because I do the editing on the show. Look, guys, I'm sorry. This message goes out to you guys and to all the other teams we've interviewed so far this season. If you don't see your interview pop up right away, don't worry about it. We're going to get your interview on the show one of these weeks. We like to keep a whole bunch in the vault for later on. You know, sometimes we release a whole show of these interviews. There's just so much quality content out there that we didn't have the room. If we could release a 2-hour Dan K show every week, we would, but then people would get angry at us, and we don't like that. So we had to trim it down, but fret not. You will be on the show. Just hang on.
Kids, the word on today's show to learn is excuses. And Lucas has plenty of them. I just want you to know if I could make the show 2 hours, I would. But I'm very, very bad at film editing. So Lucas takes care of that for us, makes us look pretty each and every week. He does a great job. We're sorry. I promise you, you're going to be on the show. That interview will make the show. We had a great interview, tremendous interview with the 16U futures of the Jersey Hitmen. These young men score in bunches. They're fun to watch. High-flying action for this squad. If you haven't seen the 16U futures team from the Jersey Hitmen, you better go watch them. Folks, another week in the books, another day of travel, another weekend of travel in the books, a long night of driving ahead of us, Lucas, before we hop in the car and get going. Parting words. Folks, I want to say thank you again for having us. We're not going to be traveling next weekend, so we'll be in the Dan K Show studios. We'll be doing a show from the studios, giving you a rundown of all the action. We're going to go over some of the standings. We want to talk about some of the top leading scorers. And if you have any topics you want us to cover, please tweet us at @the_Dan K Show. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook for all of the updates throughout the USPHL. We'll cover whatever you want us to cover. Keep watching the Dan K Show. And remember, when Dan K is on the mic, it's always hockey night. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Another bumping. It's as they say, bumping.
It's lit, I think they say now.
It's Jazzy, DJ Jazzy Jeff. He's the hippest in the game.
They used to say bee's knees.
The bee's knees.
Then it became the cat's pajamas.
Cat's pajamas.
And there was about 40 years where nothing happened, and now I think they say that it's lit.
Do they still dance the Charleston? Is that still a thing?
I think it's coming back around. I think because history is a circle; it never ends. So I think what's happening now is it's not a square. Squares have ends. Circles just keep going. I think the Charleston will eventually come back.
All that's old is new again, folks, and hockey never gets old. It's incredible. We love doing the traveling. We love watching hockey. If you want us to come visit you, let us know. If you want us to talk about your team, your player, your son, your favorite friend, tweet us. Let us know. We'll talk about you. We'll interview you. Dan K Show coming out.